out of my mind. One chance, we own. Take another look, you know that we gone. Came from the ground and we crawling up. You can feel it in your fist when you balling up. If the sky turns black, it don't matter. We know the sun is coming up. We were born to run. Sky turn black, it won't matter. Feel so strong, won't shine. We were born to run. We were born to run.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to BYG VIBEZ, where today we have Storytime with BYG VIBEZ, baby. Today we're gonna be talking about the top 5 wrestlers we met during our time.
3 ain't enough, man. I need 5. We're gonna
start?
name our top 5. We're gonna go alternating when it comes to the stories. We're gonna start off with the very bottom, which is 5. All right. So who's gonna start? You or me?
Shoot, you wanna do rock, paper, scissors for it?
Yeah.
All right, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh.
I don't lose a rock paper scissors. That's why I'm a champion.
You doing one on?
Bitch.
This one? No out of 3. 2 out of 3.
Hell no.
All right, bet.
Hell
Let me go
no.
first. You know what? Hey.
You go first.
The best goes first, so I'm gonna go first anyway. My number 5 superstar wrestler that I met, I'm going with the absolute Ricky Starks.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Unpack it.
Let's take you guys back to our past DreamCon panel. 2024 DreamCon, we hosted a wrestling panel. Check out the video up here. We're putting a link in the video. And let's just say we had a wrestling illustrator come in, stop by, and gave us several phone calls of wrestlers throughout 4 different promotions. We're talking about WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA. But one person in particular, that was the first person on the cell phone that we spoke to, was Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks was just so pleasant, was so nice and respectful to us. Send a message to the fans and people in attendance. He was even there at Austin, Texas too. That was a cool moment indeed, because we was not expecting to talk to any wrestler, let alone see anyone in our panel.
The champ is number 5, Kip Sabian. Now, the funny thing about this one is that at the time when we met Kip Sabian, I didn't really know too much about him, but I did hear about him a few times throughout watching AEW. And this was about a few years ago when me and Blake went to our first AEW event in Rochester, New York. Sadly, after Brody Lee had passed away, it was me, Blake, and another friend of ours. Shout out to Chris. And we went up the stairs after going through security and all that, and then we saw a man with a box over his head. Yes, in all brown suit and everything. And then all it said was underrated, undervalued, or something like that. And it was all that, and we were just standing there trying to figure out who is this man with a box over his head and holes poked out taking pictures with people. We were just standing there for a good long minute. And the funny thing is, we looked like a bunch of dunces looking right there, because the funny thing is, he noticed us. He noticed us just standing there looking dumbfounded. And then next thing you know it, he walks over to us still looking pretty dumb. He doesn't say a word. He just like gestures like, do you guys know? Do you guys not know? Like, and all Blake could say was, I don't know. I didn't know, and I wasn't gonna say a word.
If I can add too, I had the TNT championship on my shoulder, so he was looking over the whole time too. And we were just like, who is this person looking at us? We thought it was Darby Allin at first, to be honest.
I kept saying Darby Allin.
Yeah.
I really kept saying that. After making us look dumb, he walked back over to his position where he was taking pictures with people, took a few more pictures with people, still looked at us and was like, you still don't get it? Points over to a sign that is quite literally right next to him, and it says Kip Sabian.
Dumbfounded.
Made us look stupid. That's my 5th pick, and it was hilarious. It was so funny. And all he could do with that box head of his is this.
Hey, but Kip Sabian, that stare down you gave us, best believe we're gonna see you one day again too. And that stare down, ooh boy, it's gonna be for a different title around our waist. Going on next to number 4. My number 4 We talking about the queen of the underground. We talking about my queen. We talking about Lola Vice, baby. Last year's Money in the Bank in Toronto, Canada.
Roll the footage.
We had a wonderful time. We saw SmackDown. We was there for the Money in the Bank PLE. We even went to NXT Heat Wave that was there as well.
Shout out our boys T-Dog and shout out our boys Xavier.
X-Punk, you know.
X-Punk.
We stayed after Heat Wave and we went to the very back just to wait for the NXT superstars. The one person in particular we saw first and come up to give us photo op was Lola Vice. And hey, I got to see my queen in action. And man, Lola Vice was putting that work. This is during the time when Lola Vice moving up in the card, proving herself the most dominant force, in my opinion, in NXT.
And now for my fourth, which coincidentally has in NXT Heatwave beat Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, I am referring to quite possibly one of the greatest NXT Women's Champions of all time. I'm talking about Roxanne Perez. Rewind the time for you back all the way in 2023. Our very first DreamCon video, our very first video ever on the channel BYG VIBEZ. Blake James over here went off to get food. He went off to get food. This was during a gaming tournament at DreamCon. Berlizzi was up on the stage, and Joe Iko was on the stage, and our boy, Almighty Exotic over here, you know, he told me that the New Day, Wes Lee, Roxanne Perez, and many more NXT superstars were in DreamCon for some reason. In our video, it shows that NXT had a show, Great American Bash, after DreamCon. So once I heard about that, I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. This man is still getting food. And I keep texting him and calling him, man, NXT superstars are here. WWE superstars are here. Like, yo, get over here now. This man says, I'm getting food. So after I was done talking to Wes Lee, it was time for Roxanne Perez because we're the same age. So then she was talking to a woman who was the interviewer apparently. I guess they were either done with their segment or before their segment. Didn't want to miss my chance to talk to her. As I thought they were about to leave, I was like, oh, wait. That's what I did. That's what I did. Wait. They both looked at me like I was crazy. I froze and I said, hi. And then I met Roxanne Perez. She had a big smile on her face. She was very nice, very kind, appreciated her work and all that stuff in NXT. Thank you to Roxanne Perez.
Moving on to our third pick, in my opinion, a lot of people's opinion, the very best tag team in professional wrestling. None other than the Young Bucks.
Yeah, yo, freaking fist is all over my face.
Probably going back to 2017, a collaboration event between New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. It was in Buffalo, New York. My first actual indie/secondary promotion type wrestling event that I ever been to. I've only at this time been to WWE wrestling shows. Indie wrestling was everywhere. Lucha Underground, TNA was going through back and forth. I was now more getting into indie, other promotions outside of WWE. But talking about the Young Bucks, I walk in and I see that they have promotional tickets that you buy to go up and then take a photo op with the wrestlers. And I wait in line. This is a huge line. I'm talking about all the way far back line because everybody's here to see the Young Bucks. Cody Rhodes just stepped foot and joined the Bullet Club. Hangman Adam Page. So many superstars, so many wrestlers wanted to be a part of Bullet Club. I went to go see a wrestler before the Young Bucks, and what happened was after I saw that one wrestler, I actually skipped and walked past the line to go up to the Young Bucks. I didn't know that, so what I did was I just cut the line and walked right up to the Young Bucks behind the booth. And I actually remember Nick Jackson had asked my name and I said Blake. He said, oh, like Blake Griffin. And I'm like, just laughing along like, I have no basketball skills whatsoever, but I'm gonna go laugh along with this. But this is hilarious. And this is the greatest moment of all time. I'm meeting the Young Bucks. So I took the photo op with them, hitting the Too Sweet right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, my third pick, Drew McIntyre. It was back in 2021. I went to a WWE live event. My family had got tickets for me. It was like VIP. Baffled by that. Got to get pictures at the ring and all that stuff. It was incredible. And then we got to a locker room. We got the chance to meet two wrestlers. One of them was Shayna Baszler and the other, well, being Drew McIntyre. I was sitting there shaking. shaking in my boots. Because, you know, it's a big star. And then Drew McIntyre shows up. This man is tall. This man is big. He can fit in the category of big, meaty men.
He a big boy.
Absolutely. But I'm no slouch either. I'm kind of meaty myself. and there's a reason why I say that. So I get up. So everybody has to take their turns. They walk up and there's an actual glass separating between us because, you know, COVID reasons. And as soon as I get up and walk over to him, he looks at me dead in the eyes and like, oh my gosh, you're tall. Bro, what? You're tall. Like, stop talking about my height. I'm still looking up at you. And then everybody else looked at us like, wow, you guys are like the same height almost. Pretty much, yeah. We were the same height. And then he said, in these words, we could be a tag team. We could be a tag team. And that put a big smile on my face. So Drew McIntyre, you the man. And then we took a nice picture, you know, showing off our guns. Of course, his is like the size of my head and mine's only the size of a freaking noodle. But yeah.
Moving on to number 2, Mount Rushmore, top wrestlers of all time. I'm going with the cleaner. I'm going with Kenny Omega. Now, funny enough, this was the same year, 2017. Remember that New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor collaboration I was talking about?
Yup.
It was at the exact same event. And the wrestler I went from their booth and then cut the line to see the Young Bucks was Kenny Omega's booth. Now, again, let's look it up. Now, mind you, I was following up with everything with Being the Elite YouTube channel at the time was the hottest thing in pro wrestling outside of WWE. Walked up to him, and I remember he was looking down signing something. He had said something, but I didn't hear him clearly. And then all of a sudden, my mother, she looked at Kenny Omega and said, "He loves you very much. You're like his favorite wrestler," or something she had said online left. And he was like, let's hit a pose or something. So I walk up to him. Now we're side by side, and then we both do the gun point. So that is my number 2.
I'll put you on the spot.
Put you on the spot, bro.
Since you talked about one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, I'm going to talk about one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And no, I'm not just talking about the Young Bucks. I'm talking about what's on the WWE side of things. I'm talking about New Day. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, they suck now. They suck now, but at the time, they were awesome. So rewind back to DreamCon again. Oh yeah, DreamCon was crazy.
A whole bunch of
2023 was insane. Like I said, Almighty Exotic told us that, or told me, not you, because you went to get food.
Yeah, I wanted food. Okay, I'm sorry.
Told me that WWE wrestlers and NXT wrestlers were in DreamCon. We already knew they were coming to DreamCon.
Yep.
But we didn't know what day or anything. But when Almighty Exotic had told me that the New Day and all these WWE superstars were here, the New Day was right behind us. I looked back, they were right there taking pictures with people, and it wasn't even crowded. So I was like, dang, I gotta take this opportunity. And so I got up, walked right up to them, and funny enough, if you look back at that DreamCon video, you know exactly what shirt I was wearing that Saturday. It was the Ops of New Day. I was wearing the Usos shirt, the We the One shirt, and at that point, they were not on good terms. And so I walked up, and as soon as Xavier Woods looked at me and saw my shirt, he was like, "Oh, no. Take that shirt off. Take that shirt off. No. You're not gonna do that." And I was like, I'm sorry. I can't. I got nothing but under here. We got a good laugh out of that. I told him about how, like, they were a big inspiration in my life and how they inspired me to be this polarizing figure that you see today. And we took a nice picture, as you're gonna see right here, and it was a memorable moment that I will never forget.
Moving on.
And now moving on to the bread and butter, the number 1 spot.
Roughly around 2011, 2012. This is about a 10-year-old Blake who attended his first ever WWE wrestling event. This superstar is none other than R-Truth. Now,
Life's a butch, ain't it?
Butch, please! I'm trying to help you out, Pete.
Now, little Blake.
Move, Butch! Get out the way! Get out the way, Butch! Get out the way!
Nonetheless, I was going through security, and all of a sudden, I look to my left, and you see one of the doors that lead to the backstage area. It's like the arena and the backstage, and then a side door where they can go through too, where all the segments is going. I don't know what this man is doing. Was you laughing or something? Interrupting my story? Making his eye rolls, doing something.
No. I laughed because you said there's a door open, and I was like, ooh, did he just sneak into the door?
But I didn't go through it or nothing like that. Out come another WWE superstar, Santino Marella. Now, Santino Marella was standing there and talking with a few other young kids, and I just stopped my tracks as we were walking this. We have 100 level seats. I tell my mom, oh my God, Mom, look at Santino Marella. A security guard walks up and say, hey, you need to keep moving. So anyway, my mom now is talking to the security guard, and now she's going off on him. And I know I'm feeling a little bit embarrassed. I'm like, dang. And hopefully you don't get kicked out of the arena. I'm trying to enjoy wrestling. This is my first show. And out of the blue, I don't know where this man came from. R-Truth now comes up to me and says, what's up? You know, figures.
What's up?
Figures. Now I'm looking up at him and I'm like, oh my God, this is R-Truth. Like, bro. R-Truth was like, what seems to be the problem here? And my mom looks at him and tell R-Truth that we were just stopping to look at a wrestler. And R-Truth pretty much at that moment was like, come over here. He brought me aside, said, what's your name? And they was like, let's take a picture. Picture with R-Truth. My first ever wrestling event going to, and at that first wrestling event, I got to take a picture with a superstar. And also you can see at the influence of a young person as myself, love wrestling and continue to watch it till this day. What a scenario, funny, heartfelt, and amazing experience.
That's actually very heartfelt.
It is heartfelt.
So heartfelt.
And hopefully one day I can tell R-Truth that story.
And then he can just call you Little Jimmy.
You know? Hey, Little Jimmy right here.
Little Jimmy's real, he's right here.
You know? 23-year-old Little Jimmy, you know? All grown up.
Alright, and even though mine isn't as heartfelt, but it was still very memorable to me. Once again, it happened at DreamCon, and it's the last person I met that I didn't mention, Wes Lee. Now this is between meeting Roxanne and New Day. After the New Day, it was Wes Lee that I met first. As I was walking around, and then this dude again, like I said, went off to get food, munching on that good burger that he had, I guess. The first person I talked to out of the NXT group that I saw was Wes Lee. And at this time, I was very proudful to be, I took a lot of pride in being a Wes Lee fan. He was a really good champion. So then when I saw Wes Lee, of course I was nervous. But like he had this presence that is like different from a lot of the wrestlers that I met. It was more welcoming, more like comforting. And I was like, okay, I'm less nervous talking to you. And then we actually had a good conversation talking about DreamCon and how like he's interested in all the art that's in the exhibit hall, and how I was like, oh man, I loved your work as the NXT North American champion and all that stuff. He even asked me like, what section are you sitting at? And I told him the 100 section. Blake had the ticket, so I didn't know exactly. I just knew we were in the 100 sections. And he said he'll be looking out for us. It was just a nice moment because you don't really get a lot of moments where you just talk to wrestlers, especially if you're not a big content creator at all or anything like that. We weren't even content creators at that point. We weren't even like YouTubers or anything. Not a content creator and all that stuff. But it was very memorable, and that is again one of the moments I will never ever forget. It felt very nice to talk to somebody within the business. So yeah, Wes Lee, you are the number one. You take the championship. You take the bread and butter.
What a heartfelt moment, and what great, I think, superstars that we got and wrestlers that we met over the years. And man, look, we've met a lot more wrestlers too, and I think,
oh, absolutely,
yeah, a lot more. And I think if you guys want to check out or hear more of our stories from other wrestlers we met over the years, whether through DreamCon, wrestling events, leave it down in the comment section. Let us know some other stories you'd like to hear from us, some other superstars and wrestlers that we met across the years.
Because we've met a good number.
We met a good number.
Please give us a like and subscription. The next video that we're gonna have coming up is our top 5 content creators that we've met. Be on the lookout for it. It's gonna come out soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching BYG Vibe. Top 5 wrestlers that we've met. We shall see you in the next video. Peace!